Hi everyone. Hope you're well. It's not about the cancer. I want to talk a bit more about my experience with cancer, my journey of healing. It's come up a lot recently in conversation. I've been talking to people who are going through cancer themselves, and I've been digging really deep as to the whole experience and also to talk about my work. And the big thing that comes back to me is it wasn't about the cancer. And, often when I tell people I've gone through this experience, the first thing they have is shock, emotions. Oh my God, that's awful. I honestly did not experience it like that. I was already at a low point in life. I was pretty depressed. I wasn't doing anything I wanted to do. I was in what I would call a cul-de-sac in my life. I'd had a year and a half before, I'd had a couple of premonition dreams about cancer. So there was a part of me on the subconscious that knew it was sitting in my system. Prior to all that, I'd done a lot of mind body training, and I'd trained at the Berkeley Psychic Institute to psychically read using my clairvoyance. So that was all very open. So when I got the diagnosis, it really wasn't a complete surprise. And it took me what do they say, a red hot minute, because the doctors had their opinions. And what I will say at this point is to echo the fabulous Helen Tudor, other opinions are available. These are my opinions, and this is my experience. This is not going to suit everybody, and that's fine. You've got to do you. This is me, and anybody that wants to work with me, keep listening. So the doctors had their opinions, and they have a lot of certainty. Doctors have a lot of certainty about what they're doing. They have a very strong medical model that they work to, and their training is extensive. So they come from a very strong scientific background. So it can be quite challenging when you get that kind of diagnosis to find your own certainty about what your personal truth is. This is one of the things I work with people, not necessarily just with cancer, but with trauma in general. So I was fortunate that I was fairly connected on some level spiritually, and I was able to go into about a week of meditation on and off where I didn't speak to anyone after the diagnosis. And out of this week, I came away with two things. And I was living in the US at the time when I had the diagnosis. And the two things were, I need to leave this marriage. I was married at the time, and I need to go back to the UK. And that was it. And my journey unfolded from there. And I came back to the UK. I moved back in with family, God bless them. And I embarked on my healing process. And what I quickly realized was that cancer for me was a gateway, and it actually became a gift. It was a gateway in to recognizing I was so far off my path. I was so far away from my true north that I wasn't doing anything I wanted to do, needed to do, being of service in the world. I didn't know who I was. So part of my recovery, I say part of, I think this is what encapsulates the whole journey, was ripping the floorboards up of who I thought I was. So I did that on all levels: body, mind, spirit, emotions, psychological patterns, family relationships, nutrition, people in general. And I was prepared to tackle anything. I made the decision after I was given the 6 months diagnosis that I was going to gamble, because I thought, no, I'm not having any more body parts messed with. I'm going to see if I can heal myself. That was the plan. And that's kind of all I knew at the beginning. It's that thing that they talk about with the law of attraction of the car along the motorway with the headlights on, of only seeing 200 yards ahead. And that's all you need to see. You just have that big picture. Throwing my hands around here, they're disappearing into the green screen. You just have that big picture out there and know that's where you want to go, but you just take the very next step. And that is how it was for me. So when I embarked on the journey, I didn't know. But what I did know and I did sense is that it was something deeper that needed to be dealt with. And it was about being in that place of who am I really? What am I here to do? What kind of life do I want to live? And as I say, cancer gave me that gateway into dealing with all of that. So I have a very different approach to health than a lot of people out there, because I really got to understand, particularly the emotional connection, and how trauma, unprocessed emotions can sit in the system and build up like rubbish in a bin, causing toxicity, which manifests in a health issue. And so when I work, slightly distracted by dog here. So when I work with people, what I look for is that part of them that's the true sense of self, true spirit. And then what I look for is anything that's in the way of them being that in their life. And that shows up. So I will read pure energy, which I see in terms of colors and vibrations, but it will show up for them in terms of symptoms in their life. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be they just feel off kilter, it could be they have a massive health issue, it could be they're finding themselves locked in behaviors that they know aren't good for them, but they can't come out of. And those are all symptoms of that disconnect on a deeper level. So when I work with people, we go for the very thing that's behind it. We don't muck around with the symptoms on top. We go for what's underneath, and we work on getting you back connected in your body on your path, so you're able to go back out there into the world and make decisions that are in your best interest. And so in coming through that experience with cancer, and as I was going through the body, mind, spirit, emotions, and working on all different levels, is when I knew I wanted to put together a program, a package that would support people in going through that for themselves. And I have one amazing client that I got to work with who we worked together about 1.5 years. We worked on movement, meditation, lots of homework, and she transformed herself. So not only did I get to see, have I seen it in myself, but I've seen it in other people as well, people I work with. And people can come in and work any level of that. You know, some people come in and they just want a little piece of that to help them. Some people want to, you know, really have hand holding along that journey. So if any of that intrigues or interests you, I am running my Supercharge Your Life program, which is a 6-week program working on the 6 magic modules that I believe underpin health and well-being: movement, mindset, meditation and energy work, mood, your emotions, meals, nutrition, me time, your self-care. DM me the word super. It's $9.99 at the moment. And let's get to work. Have a good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world.